and welcome to a special treat for us here on LiveWire as we welcome new women's basketball coach Suzie McConnell-Serio. Suzie, congratulations. Welcome to Pitt.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm happy to be here.
Now, what was it about the university, about Pitt, that drew you here?
You know, it's a little bit of everything. It's an incredible opportunity with going into the ACC and competing in one of the best conferences in the country as far as basketball is concerned. But when I met with Steve Peterson, it was hearing about his commitment to women's basketball, the passion, the energy, not only he had, but of the staff that I had met, and the resources that you provide here, that these student athletes can be successful. And not just on the basketball court, but in the classroom when they leave here. And it was just an incredible opportunity. And ultimately, too, I didn't have to leave home. And I'm a Pittsburgh girl through and through. It's been my home. I love it here. And it just was a bonus that it was an opportunity right down the street.
Yeah, that's what's unique, is that you leave one place for another 2 miles away,
right.
But you do get to stay home. And how important was that you wanted to remain in Pittsburgh?
Well, honestly, this would probably have been the only job that I would have left Duquesne for. I'm a family person. It's my family is most important to me. I have 3 daughters in high school right now, a son in college, and my family's here, my husband's family's here. So being in Pittsburgh was very important to me.
You mentioned the ACC. No matter what conference you're in, there are challenges, but obviously the level of competition is as good as any in the ACC.
No doubt. You look at the teams that are in the ACC right now, and then you look at the teams that will be coming into the ACC. So, and that's what excites me, is about the challenge, knowing where the program is right now and it's a fresh start going into a new conference, and hopefully we can have some new energy, new enthusiasm, and really kind of change the mindset right now of going into a new conference and get these players excited about the challenges ahead, but yet the opportunity that we have going into the ACC.
You do have a unique situation too, where you've played Pitt. So what do you know, what could you gather about the team that you inherited from playing against them?
I know they have some good players here. They have talent. It's just trying to develop that talent. I think team chemistry is very important, so it's developing that team chemistry. It'll be developing that chemistry between a new staff and these players, and hopefully they're looking at it as a fresh start. But going into the ACC, hopefully these players are getting excited about that as well.
Can you give us an idea of what those first meetings are like when you meet with the team? What are some of the things you really want to impress on them?
When you meet with them as a group, you're sensitive to the fact that they have just lost their coach that recruited them here, but yet hopefully they're embracing me and the opportunity that we have to start this thing together. So I just talk about the opportunity that is ahead of us, and hopefully to create some excitement that way. But then you talk about meeting with them individually. So I start to develop a relationship with them individually, not just as a team. And I think it's important that the leaders start to rise, because we're going into a time when we can't work with them over the next couple of weeks with finals coming up. And the one nice thing is that I will be able to get on the court with them this summer. With the new rules, you can work with the players. So I'm very excited about having that opportunity, that I can get to work with them and they can get to know me as well in one-on-one and little individual workouts. So hopefully it's a good situation.
So first impressions are going to be key for you.
They always are, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So, I'm an honest person. I'm always goal-oriented. I talk about hard work and commitment. And, right now players are made in the off-season is what we always talk about. So this is a huge summer for these players, and it's challenging them to make a commitment over this summer to be better, to compete at that level.
How fast does now everything have to move? Not just meeting with the team, building your staff, recruiting, getting everything out. I mean, what are the next few weeks like for you?
Well, I'm very fortunate. My staff is coming with me from Duquesne to Pitt. And it's great because they do a great job. We have great chemistry on our staff. They work hard, they know what I expect, and we're all on the same page. And we understand that it's a new challenge, a new opportunity, and we're all excited about that. The next couple of weeks, it's been a whirlwind this week, and the next couple of weeks will be the same. We have a recruiting weekend coming up. We will end up having to continue to recruit. They've signed potentially one player in this spring signing period, and It's just figuring out, like I'll watch a lot of film. I know I prepared a lot for Pitt, and that was earlier in the season, but for me it'll be watching more film of our team so I can really identify strengths and weaknesses, what they need to work on. And you have a system, but you kind of adapt your system and what you run according to your personnel, and so it's really going to be learning that as well.
Well, what are some fundamentals of your system that Panther fans will notice right away?
Well, I mean, obviously if you have the opportunity to run in transition and get out and play an up-tempo game, we'd love to have the opportunity. It was kind of ironic. I've always been an offensive coach, and our team this year was defensive-minded. We played it a little differently than we have in the past. We were a pressing team, like a 2-2-1, kind of passive-aggressive. We led the nation in steals. We had the one player in the country who led in steals, in Jocelyn Floyd. So the way we defend will also depend on our personnel and if we can be aggressive, if we're more passive-aggressive. So, I'm excited about figuring all of that out because, without a doubt, my favorite part of being a college coach is coaching the game and working with the players and teaching them and preparing them and then putting that product on the floor and coaching in games.
You played at the highest level. You played at all different, you played in the Olympics, high-level college, and the pros as well. What are some experiences you take from that have really molded you as a coach? As a coach, I've probably have taken things from every coach that I've played for. It could be an out-of-bounds play, it could be an offense, a quick hitter, it could be something they said or something that a philosophy or things that they've quoted or commented on. It could be something defensively. But the one thing that is always true is that the game is about fundamentals, and it's teaching the fundamentals of the game. You don't want to be the jack of all trades, master of none. We have to be fundamentally sound, offensively, defensively, and you got to get your players buying in because when you think something's too easy, and you stop growing as a player if you don't work on the fundamentals. And that started back when I was just starting out and seeing how important the fundamentals of the game were. But obviously, I've coached at every level, and I love being at the college game. I love teaching the college players, and I love being someone who can impact their lives over the course of their college career. How tough was that transition from player to coach? Because instead of just going out and doing something or being on the court as a point guard and being able to run it, then to be able to try to communicate that without being able to physically be in there.
Well, it was ironic. My first coaching job was right around the corner here at Oakland Catholic High School. And I had just gone from playing in the Olympics. And so I'm going from playing at the highest level to now trying to coach at the high school level. And I initially I'm like putting this in, like one thing after another. I'm trying to teach these players things. And I said, wait a minute, I had to take a step back. I had to slow down and realize that, I can't throw all of this at them at once. So I have learned so much at every level, how to coach at high school, how to coach in the WNBA when it's more business and it's trades. It's coaching the best players in the world that are coming out of college and from overseas and then going to the college game. But the one thing I've learned is the game's the same. Basketball is basketball. You might have different talent, but it's utilizing that talent. It's getting the most out of your players, and that's what, as a coach, that's what you try to do. Is you put your players in a position to be successful, and you try to get the most out of them as players on the floor.
You mentioned you've coached at every level. We're in this beautiful Peterson Events Center. How does this help recruiting, and how does this place compare to some of the places you've been?
This is amazing. I finally had a tour of it. Coming up here and coaching the past couple of years, all I saw was the court and the locker room. And when you get to see the entire package and you see the resources that you have here, I mean, this is so impressive when you bring a recruit here. And you see the learning center and the opportunities of the training table and just the little things that are taken care of for you, just as far as academics, athletic training, strength and conditioning, across the board. I mean, it's a first-class operation, and I'm excited about the student athletes that I will work with and that the opportunities they have while they are here.
Suzie, best of luck, and again, welcome aboard.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm happy to be here.